You're like an Indian summer in the middle of winter, like a hard candy with a surprise center. How do I get
What
better?
the hell is happening? What is that? Excuse me.
Have you not
What are you
been
doing?
seeing on TikTok how people are playing that part of the Katy Perry song, Thinking of You?
No.
It's amazing.
What's this?
Because
My phone is possessed.
not Siri coming on. Siri heard me
She was
singing.
listening to you sing.
And she was like, yes, Brandon.
Katy Perry, where?
She's in space. People,
That thing looks so fake.
it looked...
Brandon.
I didn't... okay, so here's the thing. I didn't read up on anything having to do with
neither have
any
I.
of it. I
Yeah.
just saw they were going.
Oh.
And so I was like, surely they'll be there for at least a week.
No, it was
The
like
way they're
5
talking
minutes.
about how it's like so
We're going to
revolutionary and all
space.
that.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
So I heard about it, and then I didn't realize it was going to happen so soon. Obi told me like one day, and then the next day they were in space, and I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
oh. And then I saw the landing, and the door swung open faster than any door I've ever, like, even the doors in my house do not move that fast. I was like, what was it made of? Paper? So people
I
are
don't
like,
know.
oh, it was fake.
Look, I wouldn't be
I wouldn't be surprised.
surprised. Yes. Did you see Katy Perry? She was just like holding the flower and was just like looking just like in
No.
front of the camera. Everyone else is looking at space and she's like,
Yeah, no, people
like-
are like, she didn't even get to enjoy it. She was just staring at the camera the whole time.
yeah, which I mean, you know, pop off, I guess,
And
Katy.
then they were being really, TikTok is, I guess, where I get my news, because
As you
I
should.
also saw a clip and it was like, are you going to say bye to your family? And she starts to get choked up and cry.
Oh, yeah, because some people were worried something could happen because something could have.
Something could have, but I was like, so was it real? It has to be real if she was crying about it, but it looks so fake.
Yeah. I love
don't
how Gail just looked over it all. She was
She's
like, why did I
"Anyway,
do this?
Bring me back to Earth. No,
I
very
would
funny.
never do that.
No.
It's just like risky for what? Also, they're like, oh, it's to learn about science. What are you learning in those 10 minutes? Come on.
I didn't get no science
Can
lesson
we
up
be
there.
for real?
I mean, like, I get, if it was like something that everybody did, thousands of people did, maybe I would join. But this is another, like, people with money doing things
Yeah.
they want with their money.
They're like, we're rich, so let's do this.
People make risky choices, not me.
No.
I like my life.
Right?
I'm good.
I'm good on this. I don't need to take chances like anything like
I don't
that.
need to see the Titanic up close.
No.
I don't need to see space up close.
We don't
Gucci.
know.
I'm
I'm good here.
I don't even like planes, to be honest with you, especially
No.
since they've been crashing
Well,
recently.
that's the thing too. There's
That's
just
scary.
been so much like that happening that at this time I wouldn't want to do, especially anything like that. But also, like, what business do I have in space?
Yeah.
Like, what am I gonna like learn? You
How
know,
is this gonna like help my life?
it's
you know?
not.
Yeah.
So I won't.
I'm good.
But yeah, to circle back, Katy Perry, "Thinking of You" is a great song.
It's that, so when you were singing it, I was like, is this from a play? Like,
It's how she sings it too, low key. I kind of ate with that.
Oh, go off, King. Go off, King.
I'll
gotta
send you a
listen to-
TikTok I see because I've been seeing like 80,000. There's one guy in particular who does it the most, but
That's funny.
there's a lot of people.
I love how our algorithms are different. The thing,
Yes.
the music thing I see the most is the boom, 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 boom. Ah, na, 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 and they do the dance with their leg. Ah, na, na. I can't do the dance. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
And they're like, geek, geek.
Maybe
They do
if
it
I
with
saw
their arm.
it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Our algorithms are different. It's okay.
It's okay. We'll get them synced at
You
some
pop
point.
up on mine regularly.
As
Brandon
I
is
should.
on my FYP. Follow Brandon B Lord AF. Follow
Yes.
his personal account. Also follow us
Yes.
if you're not already.
The Shade of It All podcast.
We're popping
Hello.
off on TikTok.
And also, follow Maggie's personal.
You can follow my account. I don't know when I'm gonna post, but
What's
maybe
your
one day.
username? Is it Magdala St.
It's
Louis? or is it
My
Magda?
full name. No,
I think you pop up as that, as Magdala Saint, because like it's the
Yes.
name, but the username's
I
Magdalia.
think,
Okay.
yeah, Magdalia 101. Maybe there's numbers. Let's check.
101, because she's not the 2.
It's Magdalia 101 because remember when people used to do that?
Oh, yeah.
And then my name is Magdala Saint. I don't even know why I have my last name on there. I should take it down.
I mean, hey.
I've been actually thinking harder about things I may want to post. I had a really funny idea.
Oh.
I had a funny idea. Maybe we could do it together. I'll tell you about it after.
Oh, yeah, let me know. Yes.
I'm more like a one-hit wonder kind of girl. Like, I'll see you every couple months, but when you see me,
you'll see me.
Yeah, I come
I'm
ready.
popping up. I'm making noise.
You will say it. You will be entertained. Yes.
I love that. Well, Maggie's going to Miami this weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to Fort Lauderdale soon.
Ooh,
so
fun.
Yeah, it should be fun.
It should be. Is there any reason in particular, or just a fun trip with
I don't know. Obi
hubby,
has
or
stuff
soon
planned.
to be hubby, or future hubby?
Hey, no, it's gonna happen. But no, he just wants to take me. It's our anniversary.
Oh, nice.
Tomorrow.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
I say that because he keeps changing it. So I was like, what day is it this year? Is it May something? Is it April 4th, which was the day we met, I think, or whatever. So yes, I'm leaving soon, but today's my mom's birthday. So on the way down, we're going to go like surprise her maybe.
Oh, I love that. That's fun.
There's a lot of side quests today. Obi broke his glasses yesterday, so we need to fix that. So who knows what we're going to do, but
he's going through it. His glasses, his foot.
He hurt himself this week and he's been on crutches and I've been an unpaid nurse. But I quit yesterday. Homeboy doesn't want to elevate his foot, doesn't want to ice it, doesn't want to take ibuprofen. What I'm going to do for you? I retire.
True.
I handed in my resignation. He accepted it.
I love that.
I got my check. I got my last check and we're moving on.
I thought you were unpaid.
I was unpaid.
Well, that should be fun. I was wondering if anything was happening just because my coworker was talking about going to Miami this weekend.
Really?
I'm like, oh, is something happening in Miami? I didn't ask her because I kind of overheard it.
Maybe.
So-
Well, it's Fort Lauderdale. I might have just said Miami
Oh,
area.
that's close.
Yeah, we're going to Fort Lauderdale for something, so we'll see.
Oh my gosh, maybe you'll see Jocelyn.
Is that where she lives?
I don't know. Maybe it's where she's from. I just know they have a song in Jocelyn's Cabaret where she says, Lauderdale ho, Lauderdale ho. So I feel like there's a connection.
Her being from Florida makes sense.
It does.
South Florida specifically makes sense.
Oh, Jocelyn.
Oh, Jocelyn. Do you have any plans this weekend?
I don't. I know I'm going to my parents' Sunday for Easter.
Oh, it is Easter. Happy
Yeah.
Easter.
Happy Easter, everyone. Saturday, I don't have anything planned. I might try to do something with some friends, but as of right now, I don't have too much planned.
Okay.
So maybe we'll chill, maybe not. We'll see.
Brandon's got a new carpet. My feet have
I
never
do.
felt so comfortable.
Doesn't
This
it feel
luxury.
so like,
if you look at his
cozy?
TikTok, you'll see the unboxing. Yes.
and
I was like unraveling because you rolled it out, or
True.
it didn't come out of a box, but it's an unboxing.
It was wrapped and unwrapping.
unwrapping.
But the color you'll have to see at the TikTok, but I'll give a hint. There's a color like it in our frame right now if you're watching on YouTube. I won't say which one.
We won't spoil it for you.
But, you know, that's just something to look forward to on my TikTok, BLordAF, BLORDAF. Thank y'all so much. With that, should we jump into the episode?
Yes, y'all, we're talking about Summer House, episode 10.
10.
It's the 10th.
This was a
episode.
good episode.
It was.
It was funny.
I was entertained. Did I laugh? I didn't laugh, but it was funny. It was funny.
The beginning, I felt like was a fever dream because so many things are happening back to back that I was like, wait, what is going on?
Yeah, no, we have a lot to unpack.
But okay. I feel like it all kind of happened almost the same night and day.
Yeah.
So maybe we can just try to go chronologically.
That's true. Okay.
It wasn't until like the end.
I really wish they would tell us what day of the week it was, just to, help my brain. But you're right. It was literally just an evening.
Yeah.
A late night into a morning, and then they left.
And then all like the aftermath kind of.
Yeah.
Because it started just at the end of Ciara and Paige's conversation, which wasn't much else. It was just more like, just
kind of wrapping up her thoughts.
Yes. And then they were just like, we'll stay out because it's 8:00. I have a theory that it was a different day. Just because they said, we're already out. But then when they went out to the club or wherever they went, they were in different outfits. So, but maybe they changed.
And I don't really get what they meant. We'll stay out because we're already out, but they were home. Weren't they home? Or were they at
They were somewhere.
Carl's thing?
The DJ thing. I forget where it was, but it wasn't home.
See, it would also help if y'all told us where we were and what day it was.
We need a location, a day, and a time. Because sometimes they'll throw out a day and time. Yeah. But not always.
And I really am not going to remember that. Like, oh, yes, it's called. You know how they give the name of the place?
Yeah.
They're at the blah, 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 at this place, and it's this time.
They're at Fisherman's Wharf. It's like, oh.
It always has a unique name. Like
it does.
The place where the girls went for happy hour.
Oh, yeah, the glass ceiling, I think it was.
Welcome to the glass ceiling, lantern ceiling floor.
We're on the rooftop of the glass ceiling. It's like, okay.
In my hometown, they just built a garden. It is called Garden of the Five Senses. And I was just like, oh, this is not a tropical island. This is Northport, Florida. What are you doing? I just thought it was so funny. But yes.
Trying to be fancy, you know? Mm-hmm. But yes. So they went out for, I guess, Lindsey and Kyle's birthday. Which I was also confused by that because Kyle's birthday's like a week before Lindsey's birthday. So why didn't they celebrate Kyle's birthday the weekend before? Yeah. And was it actually the weekend before? And what weekend is it really?
Maybe that's why they don't tell us the day.
His birthday's August 4th, a day after mine.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. I saw it on Google because I was trying to look up when Amanda's was. Hers is like late July.
When is Lindsey's? The
July
10th?
Or no, August 10th or 11th.
The 10th. OB's is the 10th.
We're all Leos up in here.
Oh, they're Leos too.
Yes.
Kyle being a Leo makes. Oh, Lindsey being a Leo makes sense.
Lindsey's very much so a Leo.
Lindsey is like the quintessential.
The epitome.
The definition of Leo is Lindsey.
You look up that in the dictionary, there's Lindsey.
You will see her. Because she also has no chill. Like, we're Leo. I'm a Leo with social anxiety. She's a Leo with no shame, no holding back, 100% herself.
No, nothing at all.
Yeah.
And I felt like this was a good episode for Lindsey though. She was fun.
Yeah, she was. I was like, not you having a good time after you try to cut this man up.
Right. She was like, I got it out of my system. Now I can move on. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because they go to the club and I see her take her, she's like, can I have an non-alcoholic beer? And I was like, they do that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I guess it's, I know, maybe not everywhere, but I know they do in some places.
Yeah.
I think it's like an O'Doul or something usually.
Oh, okay. And so I was like, before soft bar products and whatever. So she's like, can I have a non-alcoholic beer? And then she's recording someone. And I was like, is that Carl? Because that would be crazy. But it was Jesse dancing. Yeah. And I was like, what would be insane if it's like you just try to chew this man out and you're like, but we're good now. Yeah.
Let's make a TikTok, Carl. It's like, okay.
Dance. She's so hyped to record Jesse, but they looked like they had a good time. They went out.
They did. And then Lindsey and Ciara and Paige left. Mm-hmm. And then Amanda shortly left.
Yeah.
And then they FaceTime Lindsey in bed to say happy birthday because it's past midnight. I'm like, that was cute.
It was cute, but I was like, why aren't the three of you in her room? Maybe they're just not cool like that.
I think they're not quite there. Also, maybe they thought she was only asleep because she's pregnant.
True.
And
they're giving her
nothing
space.
Better than your own bed too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Amanda was upset. She's like, I came home alone. And they're like, why? Kyle's like, I invited my friends out. I'm not leaving early. I was like,
I'm not leaving before my friends. I'm like, look, I'll just look. We almost had another like Amanda, Kyle's out late. I'm glad she didn't
have a meltdown.
Because also at this point, it's like clearly he's not going to listen to you as he hasn't in the past.
Yeah.
So like, I feel bad. Like, I don't know. I'm just like, this is him.
I don't love how they communicate with each other either. Like, my friends. It's like, hey, babe, actually, I wanted to stay late out. The boys are here, but I'll be back soon. Like, I feel like there's ways that you can deliver information that makes it easier to hear instead of being like, no, bitch, go home by yourself. I'm going with my friends.
Leave me the fuck alone, Amanda.
The bros are here.
Are you kidding me? I'm turning 42. Like, this is really important.
You really care about the time I come home? That's crazy.
I can't believe this. Not Maggie's ring going off.
People are passing by my door.
People are trying to knock on my door.
Come on, knock on my door. Okay, sorry.
Someone's waiting for you. So, and then from here, it was just like a chain reaction.
Oh, there's so many,
of crazy moments.
Yes.
Well, the next one I think is The car pops up and it's like horror music. I'm like, who's about to pop up? Like, what's going on?
I was like, not scary movie.
Yes. And then it's Lexi and Jesse. And he's like, it's just clearly all you have is the toe sucking on me. But like what you did with Wes today was way worse than me and Ciara. And she's like, huh? And he's just going off.
Yeah, he was just like, you like were upset about that, and like, you know, I'm just like, my feelings are hurt, and I like hate this because like I hate feeling like bad, and it's and she's not reciprocating at all.
No.
Barely engaging in the conversation. He's just upset.
Very.
Yeah.
And then he kind of flips and he's almost like, I'm so glad we had a great time. This is so fun.
In the morning.
Even in that moment, kind of. He was like going like back and forth. I was like, he's crazy.
I was like, how drunk is he? Like, I get it. You know, you're drunk. You're like saying stuff, but like, stop.
Yes, because then Lexi tells us, she's like, oh, he got mad and said that I was flirting with Wes at the club when all I did was hold him up. Because he was like drunk at one point.
Yeah.
And also like you got your toe sucked by a stranger and told our friend that you would have wanted to date her last season if you had a chance, or last summer if you had a chance.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what's happening.
To add, you were also that same friend flirting with her, so much so that other people were like, what's happening?
Right.
Which he knows about, but he's like, all you have is toe sucking on me. Yeah. That's all she has. That's all she has.
And it's not as if let's even say she didn't see you with Ciara and is like acting this way. She was told everything about what happened with you and Ciara. So it's kind of like,
you're being annoying.
Very.
So they get inside and they get in bed and he's still talking about it. Like, you know, like I just wouldn't do, I don't know. It was like a lot of like,
it was weird. I wasn't sure his angle.
Right. He was upset,
like,
but then like not upset. And then like upset that he was upset. And I'm just like,
this is too much. We can't do this.
It seemed like just external processing all of his feelings, which is fine. But it's just like, this isn't going to age well for you.
No.
Because you were doing, well, we didn't see what you did, but for you to get upset about this is just a little ironic.
Very. And like, I think I almost, he forgets, I think they're being filmed. He's
receipts.
Like, I think maybe he thinks too, like, oh, if I say it not on camera, it can't come back.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I went in Imruls' room and there was something covering the camera.
Yeah.
So Lexi doesn't need to know now. Oh, I told her I love her, but off camera. So I can kind of play it off as a drunk moment. Oh, I'm kind of getting upset with her, but it was in the Uber and there's no camera. So I kind of know I'm actually happy. And it's like, you realize you're saying this to a person who has like a memory and her own experience,
right?
So she's going to relay this information. Same with Imrul. He's this person with a memory and his own experience.
Yes.
So when the situation of the toe suck comes up, he's gonna say his part in it.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe he just thinks he's the only one in the room or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's also kind of giving like, I think he's trying to make his own storyline a little bit, because we see him upset. The next morning comes, they wake up, and she's like, you were he was like, we argued last night, and she's like, I wasn't arguing. And then in his confessional, he's like, I'm happy this happened, and blah blah blah. And I was like, I didn't even understand that. Did you understand that?
No, because I mean, there were some moments where he was like, oh, I was excited how you had fun today, but the angle that he then took, I was like, huh?
He was like, yeah, because if you're flirty with West, and then I can be flirty with Ciara, and then we both just have like flirty energy and it'll be great. And I was just like, I don't know what you're talking about, but it also feels like he's trying to produce a story,
right?
Like his version of events. But he's like, I don't know, I don't believe that he doesn't know what's going on. Like, I think you're intentionally trying to make it seem a way.
And then a roundabout way to what's the word I was gonna say? oh my gosh, validate or excuse his behavior or justify it and be like, oh, see, it's fine.
Yeah.
But notice every example he gave of them flirting were things West was doing to Lexi, not anything Lexi did to West. Like he said, oh, he like massaged her shoulders and then was like touching her. I'm like, but how? Because I don't get anything from West and Lexi. So how actually was it? Because the thing with you and Ciara is there's a flirtation and there's you saying you would have wanted to date her last summer.
Yeah.
So it's not even just the touching per se.
He said a lot more. You said she turned you on. You said you were horny from her leg being near your leg. Like you just said a lot. And I just feel like also though, if West is your boy, tell West to back off. Like, hey West, don't, and then tell Lexi, hey, don't, if you're really upset about it.
Right.
But I was just like, sounds like West was being a lot, Lexi was helping and whatever. Granted, we didn't see, so maybe it was more, but I just feel like at that point you could just tell your friend like, hey, lay off, I don't like that.
Right. Instead you're trying to like flip it and be like, see, Lexi, you're like me. And it's like, I don't think she is.
I don't think she is. And I also think he's manipulative because he's like, I'm upset in bed the night before. He's like, I'm upset, but I don't know. And like, you know, I hate being upset. And I didn't like what you did, but I love you.
Is this how upset feels? If this is how upset feels, I don't want to feel anything else. But why am I feeling this way? It's like, huh?
And she asked, like, I think she like maybe asked him something. And he's like, but I just love you. I love you, okay?
And he was like, do you love me? And she was like, so much.
Yeah, she didn't say it explicitly,
I'm like, good, don't say it.
Please don't do it. But I was just like, the I love you too is also very manipulative. I know he's probably drunk, but like, I don't know, Jesse.
It's like an Aaron and Kayla when he dropped the I love you after the fight, after Casa.
You do it to like make you're doing it for a purpose.
But then he tried to deny the next day. He's like, oh, it was because you were asking me to say. And she's like, no. That wasn't it at all.
I can't believe he did that as well. So, Jesse, you're acting like you don't know what's going on and you're just up, but I don't know. It's funny that Tom Schwartz is coming next week because he's the master of that.
Oh my god.
So, Jesse, it's funny that you're doing that, but we see through it, man.
I knew in the preview when I saw those shoes pop up from the van or wherever he was, I was like, this isn't good. Who is this? And then when it was Schwartz, I was like, oh. No.
Jump scare.
I don't. Who wants this? This is not good. I've only seen him the Valley premiere this week. He was in the Valley premiere. I was like, please. And then even that night, the other funny thing, Kyle and Wes show up at 5:30. They can't open the door. They're like
jogging to the steps. I was like, what
it was kind of funny.
Yeah. I was like, so did the door change?
I don't know. Maybe they put the wrong code or something. It looked like there's like a code lock thing.
They're just like, boom.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all can't pick up your phones and just call Amanda. Well, not Amanda. But
no.
Call Imruls. He's probably awake. Call Jesse. Call somebody. But instead, you make so much noise that the pregnant woman has to let you in.
And she truly wakes up. She's just like, what the fuck? Yeah. And then she like opens the door. It's kind of funny. And they're like, that was really nice of you. And she's like, you're welcome.
Yeah.
And then
it was inconvenient, but I appreciated that they acknowledged like, okay, yeah, this isn't good. Sorry. Thank you. Sorry. You know, Kyle says sorry. Wes mostly apologized. He said sorry like a bunch of times.
They did. It was handled. It was funny.
And then Kyle falls asleep downstairs.
Yes.
Maybe on purpose.
Probably. I don't know. He does that sometimes. One season he fell asleep in the pantry. Like standing up. He's like one of those that can fall asleep anywhere.
Well, they were tired because Wes crashed out like immediately. So they were at least a little like... So it's not cool that you are being loud and obnoxious in the middle of the night, but at least you acknowledged it. Yeah. Emerald, on the other hand, has no regard for anyone.
He doesn't. And yeah, he brings another bodiless, faceless girl. We don't see who this is. But he hooks up with her. And Paige, she had a moment with Ciara where she was just like, I'm feeling anxious because Craig isn't going to like that conversation we had. And so she goes to Gabby's room because she's not there. And she's like, I just need to like be by myself because I'm so anxious. And then she hears Imruls and the girl having sex.
So loud. And she was like, can I like, be loud? And he's like, yeah, do whatever you want. And I was like, see, even that is crazy that you said that.
Right.
And so I just felt so bad for Paige because she's like, I feel like having maybe a panic attack, like anxiety is rough. She's just trying to get some sleep. Maybe her heart is racing and she can't sleep. Like, that's... So all of these encounters with Imruls, I never really had an opinion of it. I was just like, all right, cool. I've also never watched this show, so I didn't know that it's not normal.
It's like, you know what? The way the internet tries to make it seem, because some people are very much like, they're shaming Imruls, and isn't this what Summer House is all about? And like all this, like the random hookups, and like they're just in their bed.
That's what I thought, yeah.
But I don't, and maybe I'm misremembering, what seasons were people bringing random girls home to have like sex with?
And this often. Yes. It's every weekend.
Usually it's people in the house, or people bring their boyfriend or girlfriend. It's not like a consistently bringing strangers to the house. Yeah. So I don't think he should be sex shamed, but maybe courteous shamed.
He's not a good roommate. I don't care that what you're doing. I just don't think you're very courteous, especially this time when someone in another room is needing like some quiet and you're being obnoxiously loud.
Right.
And that's not okay. So I think that's where it's like, okay, now you're inconveniencing other people and now it's a problem. I don't think there's any, I mean, like, if that's what he does, that's what he does. But because he said, well, they bring it up, but if that's what he does, I get it. I just feel like it is kind of not very courteous.
Yeah, and especially because it's like they don't know these people, and there's like a pregnant lady in the house, and it's just like you're just bringing these strangers, and it's like, who are these people? Yeah. And especially because they don't know him. Yeah. And Jesse kind of made that point. He's like, you haven't really built relationships with anyone, so you're just like bringing random people, and it's just kind of like, who is this guy? Yeah. Like, do I think Paige should have said, you need an STD test? No. Do I think maybe she was probably just very annoyed because it was the morning and she didn't sleep? Probably. So she was a little more snarky. But I don't think that was the angle. He shouldn't be shamed that way. But maybe like, can you stop bringing strangers to our house that we don't know?
Yeah. Or like, be quiet. I don't know. I the only thing that I thought was not okay was the noise. Like, that's not all right. But yeah, like, do you want to just talk about what happened after the next day with him?
Yes, because I think that was it for the night, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then the next day, Amanda's doing like a surprise brunch for Lindsey, and it looked cute. But then Imruls, his girl, or like the girl, she just like can't find her shoes or something. Yeah. So he's like walking around in his underwear looking for it, and Amanda's like looking at the camera like, what is happening?
Yeah, that's also, I don't like that.
No, it was just a little,
also not really courteous. Like, do the guys typically walk around in their underwear?
I think sometimes. Yeah. But not
I think she was just over him. Like, so open the door. She opens the door. He's like out there with the girl. She's like, oh.
She's like, put some pants on.
Yeah, like, come on. She can't walk around in her panties. You can't, like. And then she was just like, yes, you need an STT test. Like, how many people has it been? You were just really loud. So I think it's, things slowly bottle up. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of do that where I'm just like,
you're just like, and what about this? And what about that?
And the other thing is the last time, and then this time, and then the time before, and then it's too much. Yes, I agree. She shouldn't shame him, but
yeah, I get it though. Just the frustration.
He's like, I use condoms. And so then Ciara, because Ciara heard her that morning, I think they had touched base. So Ciara's outside, Carl's outside, and then all the boys slowly come outside. Ciara and Carl talk for a second about just like Carl wants to be her friend.
Yeah. And Lindsey came up to him that night and was like, hey, I know today's rough for you, but I'm thinking of you. And I'm like, that's nice.
That was nice.
Okay.
And then I feel like they're kind of setting it up because I think we see later that Carl and Ciara flirt a little bit.
He like says, I have a crush on you or something like that. And she's like, I think it's going to be at the party that's next week. Maybe not next episode. I don't know how long the party's going to last episode-wise, but I think at that party.
Yeah. So Ciara is outside complaining about Imruls, and Imruls comes out and she's like, speak of the devil.
I was obsessed with Ciara this whole episode, I must say.
I just love the way that she is just unapologetically herself. And she cleared him out.
She did.
In the most like nonchalant way, which is even better. Like, no, there's no scene. So
no.
I can't remember exactly how she said it.
It was like, oh, we know you had fun last night.
Yeah.
And she's like, do you do this at your own home? Like, bring this many girls? Because it's really obnoxious at this point.
And he was like, yeah, I mean,
I started to think, like, maybe I should hold back. And she was like, well, when did you have this thought? And when did you start to, like, execute it? And I was like, track him.
Yeah, but honestly, that's valid. Because you're saying that now, but you didn't do that like a couple hours ago. So when did you start thinking? And they show a flashback of him saying at the party yesterday, like, maybe he won't bring someone home. So maybe he did think about it. I guess
thought about it.
Production wanted to give him, like, Emerald was thinking about it, guys. Didn't execute yet, but thoughts.
He did cross his mind.
Thoughts were conceptualized.
Yes. Which, you know, hey, that's the first step.
And then he kind of doesn't say anything.
Right. I felt a little bad. He's like, oh, is everyone thinking this? And she's like, I'm just talking about me. I don't know how they
I don't know about
feel.
them. I'm speaking for myself. And I was like, I know that's fucking right.
I'm like, okay, Ciara.
When she said, I was like, can you write a book about how people could be like, I just want to know your mindset. Where she's just like, no, this just is my thoughts. And I didn't think the boys were going to say anything, but then Jesse spoke up.
Yeah, Carl just said, oh, this hasn't happened as much, but he didn't really say anything bad. Yeah. And then Jesse was like, yeah, you know, maybe just like have some away games. The way he said that, I'm like, shut up, Jesse.
Yeah.
And then just like, you know, maybe just make it less frequent or something.
Yeah.
And then he tells us, he's like, you know, I did this once last summer and like, it's because I had good relations with everyone that it was okay. But like, until you like have good relations, you're just having threesomes all over the place. So it's just like different.
Yeah, like we don't know you and then you're like kind of being obnoxious.
Yeah.
Maybe if we knew you, your obnoxiousness would be different. So I thought that was a valid point. I didn't think about it that way either.
True. I got that, but then also part of me was like, Jesse, are you upset that you only did it once and that Emerald's able to do it more?
Yeah, because I'm sure production is giving him the green light. Like, yeah, you can have guests over, but I think he kind of was a little excessive with it. Only because now people are being woken up by you. And you didn't really say sorry.
Right. You were kind of just like, oh, well, you know.
Yeah.
And which, like, look, I don't think he's like a bad guy or anything. I think he just wasn't being as mindful and like it kind of boiled over with some of the people. But because he said, you know, I'm really trying to unapologetically be myself. Like, I'm not sorry that I brought someone, but I will be more considerate. And he talks about how he was like undocumented from 6 to 23, so he's just really trying to be himself, which like I get all that. And I think again, there's nothing wrong. It's just being more mindful of the people you have in your house. But
then he says, I'm trying to be unapologetically myself. My sexual freedom or whatever is just part of that, but there are other parts of me. And I was like, I'd love to see those parts.
Right.
I don't think maybe production's not giving him the best edit.
I think it might be a mix. Yeah. I think the production's leading him to be a certain caricature. Yeah. But then also maybe there's not moments where he's kind of expressing more to his roommates.
Yeah, because I think you become part of the storyline when you're not just the things you're doing yourself, but it's adding a dialogue to the greater discussion of what's happening in the house. Yeah. And all the house seems to talk about in relation to you is how you bring people over. You're the threesome king. Right. You're this, you're that. So I was like, I was like, dang, Emerald, you're not really doing a great job of showing other parts of yourself. Granted, maybe they're just not showing it.
Right. It could be either or, a combination of both. Yeah. I don't know. But after Ciara reams him out, she goes to Paige. And then she's like, Paige, how are you feeling? And she's like, I'm just feeling so anxious. Like, I have to work on my breathing. And then Ciara breaks down crying. She's like, I know you. And I know, like, you're, like, going through it. And I hate seeing you like this. And I'm like,
She's such an empath.
She is.
I teared up, too. I was like, oh. No, I'd be like, So, I just love Ciara. Oh, my gosh.
I know. She's a good friend.
You stand on business. because really, she was reading Emerald, but she was sticking up for Paige.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then you see your friend going through something and your heart goes out to them. And then you're like so empathetic and stuff. And like, I think sometimes maybe tears overwhelm people, but it seems like Paige needed it.
Yeah.
You know?
She needed to cry it out.
Yeah.
Because she starts to cry and she's like, I just feel so anxious. I feel like I'm spread too thin.
Yeah.
I feel like Craig's gonna just like be like, oh, you're such a fucking bitch, because she's still freaking out about the conversation they had.
Yeah.
And then she like starts to just bawl and she's like, I just want to go home.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get that.
I do. It's like she seems, because they start talking about it and she's like, I just don't know what people are gonna, she's like, I just don't want it to be like I'm this bad person, or like, it seemed like she was concerned with, essentially she's contemplating breaking up with him, and she's not sure how people will receive it, is how I felt like she was saying it.
Yes.
And also how he will receive it. And also just the thought of like him being with someone else, and like all the things that go through your mind when you're just like, if I end this, what will happen?
Yeah.
You know? And she's like really focused on the outside and not even herself, which I'm like, Paige, doesn't matter. Like, it only matters how you, like, if you will be at peace, if you will be better, then that's all that matters. But I get the like rabbit hole you can go down of like, you know, I know his family, I know his friends, and then we're on this show and people know me and they might say stuff and it might, you know. And then she said she felt like she might lose everything she's worked for.
Yeah, I think maybe she was worried that maybe people only like her because she's with Craig or something like that, which isn't true.
No, Paige.
And then like, yeah, what's a shame though is she was worried about what people would say, like, oh, Craig can do so much better, like, da-da-da-da-da. And then what happened when she broke up with Craig? There were people saying that, and like all the boy moms and the pick-me's were saying stuff like that. So she knew it came true. I think more people ended up having her back, especially now.
Yeah.
But ultimately, when it first happened, there was people saying stuff like that. So.
Aww. Yeah.
And then she's just like, look, I know his feelings are valid, but I feel like he downplays what I do, and I just always feel like I'm doing the wrong thing. And I'm like, gotta get out of there, girl. And she did, but
I can't only imagine. Like, that just sucks, where it's like you're trying to live your life, live your dream, pursue things you love, and it feels wrong because the people closest to you aren't being supportive. Like, I don't like that.
No, not at all. And thankfully now she's out of it. But she was going through it.
Well, I mean, I'm like at least you had this opportunity. I'm really glad that they showed these conversations, because we can understand why you did something, and you have people who can sympathize with your choice, you know?
Right. And Ciara's just like the perfect friend, and it's just like validating her and being there for her. And she tells us, she's just like, Paige seemed to have forgotten that people don't just like her because of Craig, and her success has nothing to do with Craig. What would you do if no one else was here and you were by yourself? And it's like, perfect question.
She's the best.
Love them. Love this moment.
Yeah.
Probably some of the most vulnerable we've ever seen Paige on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's usually like, she's had vulnerable moments, but she is a little guarded, which like I get.
Yeah.
But then they go to Lindsey's brunch, which looked good. The bacon looked good. The French toast looked good. I was kind of hungry.
I was like, I want some French toast.
Right, I
Thank
haven't
you,
had French
Amanda.
toast in a minute.
Emerald should. Oh, never mind. I was like, none for Emerald. He's fine.
Oh no, Emerald can have French toast.
Emerald can eat breakfast with us. But then I guess nothing happened because breakfast started and breakfast ended.
Right, it was just Lindsey. They're like, did you envision yourself here at 38? She's like,
you guys are going to play that clip because I made a timeline once and you're going to play the clip of the timeline I made. And they're like, timeline. I'm like, you guys suck.
They do.
They're like, boom, boom,
She
boom.
made that during the COVID season. Like, give her a break, y'all. But yeah, so that was it seemed like a nice brunch. They leave. And then I think the next thing is Jesse's event at the Hope Lodge.
Pretty much, yeah, they leave.
Yeah, which was a nice event. It was like a event for cancer and bringing people together and showing them like a community and helping like give them food and giving them a place to talk. It was really sweet.
It was, because I thought he said at the beginning, Hope Lodge, you can come and not think about recovery.
I thought he said that too.
And then it was all about
The
recovery and treatment. And I was like, oh. And then I was like, if I was undergoing cancer treatment, would I want cameras in my face? So I thought about that too. But maybe they signed waivers and knew what was happening.
They probably did. And it's bringing like awareness and everything. And they all seem good with it. Yeah. So it was, I think too, they were probably talking about it more because it was bringing the awareness and kind of explaining what it was.
Yeah.
It seemed like, well, I don't know if it's like a typical event or maybe it is. I don't know. But, you know.
Yeah, no, they have a Hope Lodge at USF.
Oh, do they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
People used to volunteer there.
Nice. So, yeah, that was a really good moment. Really like that and the bringing the awareness to it all. So, the people who came to help were Lindsey. Gabby shows up. We get Gabby randomly.
My gosh, I didn't even see her.
She showed up. She had a hat on. Look cute. Didn't say much.
Can we have more of Gabby, please?
I think she comes next weekend, hopefully. Like, Gabby, we need you to like
Gabby, I just want to like know what you do and see what you think, you know?
I think because I like Gabby and I want her to stay. Yeah. So I'm like, please make yourself a little more involved.
Please.
Bringing at the reunion, which is supposed to be filming soon because Andy Cohen tweeted, any questions for the Summer House reunion?
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be filming probably within a week or two.
Yeah.
I don't know. But who else showed up?
Ciara, Wes.
Ciara, Carl. I think that was it.
Yeah.
And so they're like helping with the food. Mm-hmm. And then Carl talks to Jesse and Ciara at first. And he says in Montauk, he had fun with someone. And she's like, did you hook up with them? And he's like, yes. And she's like, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yay, Carl.
Yes. And then Jesse joins and they're celebrating.
They're hyping him up. Yeah. I guess they went together.
Yeah, I think they all went to Montauk together. I know at least Ciara drove him. So
I thought they were saying Mom Talk, and I was like, captions, please. Mom Talk is a place.
Yes. It's a place like in New York. Close to Hamptons,
it was like
maybe
spelled
not.
Like M-O-N-TAC or something like that.
M-O-N-T-A-U-K, I think.
Oh, okay. So it's a part of New York.
No, Taylor from Mom Talk was not there.
So you hung out with a girl from Mom Talk?
No, with Demi. And so they talk, and then Jesse and Ciara start to talk a little bit, and then they laugh, and she kind of touches his arm, and he's like, "Oh, Ciara, enough touching!
Don't touch me!"
And she's like, "Huh? Are you serious?" And he's like, oh, "Yeah, well, like, I mean, I got yelled at, like," and she's like, "Okay."
Oh, Jesse, Jesse,
go to hell.
We're reaching a point where I don't want to see you anymore.
But truly,
you've got one more, and I might really not want to see you anymore on this show being so obnoxious. Because one, nobody yelled at you. Who yelled at him?
I don't think anyone yelled at him.
Nobody yelled at you. I got yelled at. Okay, maybe you're feeling away because people had a comment about something, but to put it on Ciara is crazy.
Wild, because he's now trying to pin Lexi and her against each other. Like, oh, I was yelled at, trying to say it was Lexi who doesn't want this happening. And then two, trying to shame Ciara as if her touching your arm. Touching the arm while laughing is not the issue.
Brandon, the touch was so obscure that we didn't see it clearly.
Right.
I think it was like she touched the back of his arm.
Yeah.
Like, we couldn't even see. Relax. And then she was like, really? And it was awkward for a second, and he didn't take it back. So I'm just like,
no.
This is weird. He was like, because she like walks away, and he's like, well, go eat something. And she's like, no.
Now she's like, I'm nauseous.
I was like, you better say, tell him no. Trying to tell me what to do, what I can't touch, and where I should eat, and all this stuff.
That's crazy. And the way he continues to, I don't know.
He's trying to change the story.
He's manipulative. He's missing the point. With Lexi trying to say her flirting with Wes. Then now Ciara is the one touching, and like they need to stop that because there's an issue, or Lexi has an issue. I'm like, you cannot. What are you about to do?
I am unliking your song, Jesse. I can't do it.
You can't have Back Pocket in your like song.
I'm just irritated with him. I'm leaving it, but I'm irritated.
I have to listen.
I was like, this is kind of. It's like that's kind of. It's not extreme, but it's silly. But I'm just like,
No, it's like annoying. It's like odd too, and also I don't know, and like. I don't know. This is a nice event, and like you're over here shaming Ciara. Like here, it's like weird.
Okay, so at first I was like, "Is he playing? Is he joking?" It kind of sounds like a joke, But then I was like, I just the energy and how it shifted, and he didn't say anything. Like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It didn't seem like a joke.
No, or at least like not completely. Like, I don't think he was as like serious. Like, they showed one clip of him looking serious, but I think it was kind of like edited in there. I think he was mostly smiling, but it was serious as far as like, he knows they'll get in trouble if they touch or something.
And that's not true, though.
Yes, it's not the arm touching while laughing. It's the you saying you're horny. You again saying you wish you had a chance with her.
Laying on her.
Yes, all that stuff.
Letting her, like, dancing with her intimately. Like, all of those things is the problem. Not the, and it's like, so you and West are twins.
They just can't get the point.
You guys
They're
don't
dumb.
know what. Everybody's just mad at me, and I just like didn't do anything. No,
Shut
you just
up.
Oh my gosh, you just don't listen.
No, I can't stand these people.
So great event. Thanks for ruining it.
Right? No, it was. He gave a great speech at the end. Overall, great event, but odd behavior throughout it, I must say.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, see, and I wonder, I was like, Ciara didn't clock it or didn't say anything to him then. Yeah. But then the girls have a brunch at the ceiling.
The glass ceiling.
The glass ceiling.
Yes. And then she brings it up and they're just like, he's the one who touches you.
They're like, pause. I was like, I love how they were all on the same page. Like,
right.
Like he's like, you not to touch his arm? What about him not touching you at all?
Right. And she's like, you don't want me to touch you? Okay, like, y'all know how I can be.
I won't even look
I'll
at
hurt your feelings. I'm like, yeah.
She's like, you don't want that? Bet. I'm going to act like you're not even in the room. I was like, go off. Literally me, I would do that.
Right. And she's even telling us, she's just like, not you trying to put this on me. Like, I see you and I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so.
She's like, I love that. It's just like, it has nothing to do with nothing to do with Lexi. It's all about Jesse being obnoxious.
Yes, which we love that.
Yeah.
And the next week it seems like they're putting the gas to the pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
Warning Lexi about Jesse. Yeah. To where she goes to him and is just like, the girls are saying you're talking bad about me and it's making me feel icky. And he just looks
irritated. And I'm like, but you are.
What do you think it is, Jesse, when you're saying to her, I love you, meet my parents, oh my gosh, this is great. And then behind her back, you're saying, oh, I think she's the jealous type. I didn't really want her to meet my parents.
Like, Wes is like, he was bullied into it.
He's talking about, she's making me unfollow people, noticing the girls I follow. I don't know if I'm ready to commit or not. This is crazy. Like, you're not saying nice things about her.
No, you're not.
I hate him.
He's being so obnoxious. And we saw Lexi's TikTok last week, and it just keeps raining true, where she was like, don't tell lies about me, and I won't tell truths about you.
And she's telling truths. Her confessionals, I love them. She's just constantly like, he's always saying, I love you.
Yeah.
He said it 11 days in. And honestly, I love what he's saying to me, and I'm trying to get on his level. And I'm like, you just don't really like him like that. You like the attention, which I get.
Yeah.
But, I'm sure you like him.
Yeah.
But like love.
Yeah. It's a little weird.
I will say though, so Lexi did this interview on virtual reality by Page Six. It's like this podcast they do. And they asked about, because Ciara and Jesse posted photos of them together at Coachella. And they were a little like, they got people talking because they were like kind of close. In my opinion, they weren't brother and sister. I'm not going to put that out there, but it wasn't like they're dating. Like, it was kind of just like, he had his arm around her, but to me, it was just like...
But they were posing for a picture.
They were posing for a picture, and it was kind of just like, of course, people are going to talk about it, obviously, because of the show. But they asked her, like, do you think they're, like, kind of rubbing it in your face? And she's like, look, they're going to do what they're going to do. It kind of makes sense because I sent an invite to everyone to go to my birthday. And there was 2 people that didn't respond. And then those 2 people hung out that day. Oh. And I was like, now, Ciara, look, I love you, Ciara.
You just saw this man drag this girl on TV.
That part. And now, look, I'll also say, I'm like, when was her birthday? Because maybe it was before the season aired. Maybe they didn't see as much of the season. Yeah. I know they're still close, though. And I'm kind of like, okay. And maybe they made up and maybe he apologized. So I'm kind of like, okay.
I want to know.
I'm not going to like be like, you can't be his friend. But as far as that not responding, if that's true that you didn't respond to her birthday and instead hung out with Jesse, I'm a little like, okay, well, you could have at least responded and said something. Yeah. And also, you see how Jesse is, and maybe now she's seen more even how manipulative he's being. So we'll see at the reunion. I'm sure it'll be addressed because Lexi was overall positive. Just like, I'll never turn on the girl, and like, I don't accept boys will be boys, and like, I really think Ciara deserves better, and I think we can be friends. I think we're more similar, and I think we can actually be good. So she seems positive. So I don't foresee much drama coming from them. I think maybe they'll talk it out and make up at the reunion, and it'll be fine. And I mean, if Lexi was in a good enough place with Jesse to invite him to her birthday, that tells me like, okay, well, maybe they were good too at that point, or good enough. So interesting. It seems like a lot happens maybe in the rest of the season and off season, but I did need to point that out because I'm like, Ciara, I get it, even if you're not with Jesse, but don't be his friend like that. Like, you gotta see how he is. Like, come on.
Yeah, you could be his friend, but to date him?
Don't. Please, Ciara. Also, look at yourself. Look at your Coachella pictures. Slay. Look at him. Nay. No.
I didn't see that.
She, like, looked amazing. I loved it. Every outfit, she was just body. And it was just good. And he was just, like, in his sets. He always wears a set. It's stupid. But anyways.
We'll
but that was it for this episode. This was fun. I love this episode.
Oh, and we met Lexi's parents and they talked and stuff, but it wasn't that.
Oh yeah, Lexi with her sister. And
maybe
her
it's gonna add to something later, but
maybe. Look, I like that she's close with her family too.
That's
think
cute.
They're a little codependent, maybe. But it's good to have a good relationship as opposed to a bad relationship.
Yeah,
so
it's very close. But I would say that if I could effectively work, if it's really what it looks like, then that's like the most healthy dynamic I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Especially on TV. So like if that's how it really is, then that's amazing for you. Like I would keep my family close if that was the case, you know?
Right.
Sleeping in the same bed is I mean, but like it seemed like they're just really close.
Yeah, and they're always hanging out.
At first I was like, because you know that there was a show on TLC and it was like mom, like pretty much people who had weird relationships with their moms and they like bathed together and stuff.
Oh God,
it's not.
No,
it's not. But I was like, this is really sweet. Like they all support each other. And she's like, I like to have my family nearby. But then her mom cried about something, and I was like,
oh yeah, dropping her off back in the day to like modeling things, like in New York because they were in Ontario.
Yeah, so maybe that is a little sign of.
There's a little. That's
your baby girl though.
Yeah, I love the mom and the sister's commitment to do this same makeup and just wear all black all the time though. With that
I was like, why do they look the same? And then Lexi has like different colored hair. She's got I did notice that.
But you know, with that being said, anything else for the episode or anything else we want to discuss?
That's all.
Thank y'all so much for listening. Make sure to rate and review us. Give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. A review. We shout those out on Apple Podcasts. So leave us a review. We love that. You can leave comments on the Spotify episodes.
I am so tickled.
If you want to see our faces and see Maggie's laughing instead of just hearing it, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Shade of It All Podcast. We've been seeing some comments. We reached past 200 subscribers. I think we're at 207 or 208.
On YouTube?
Yes.
Let's go!
Fun. We're also, if you want to follow us on TikTok at the Shade of It All Podcast, we're above 3,000 followers.
Above 3,000,
so we love that. That's fun. Also post clips on Instagram at the Shade of It All Pod. And we'll talk to y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.